Hey guys, welcome back to Cozy Womb Podcast. And this is the Father Month Shorts, where people come on here and they tell me why they love their dads, a little bit about their dads and themselves. And we get into it because I think dads need good appreciation. And the new dads need to know that the things they do today will be appreciated tomorrow. So today we have Kev. What's up, Kev?
What's going on, Sam? How you doing?
I'm Dandy. I'm here.
Yes.
I'm ready to hear about your dad and you dadding, because that can be a verb, okay? Because you guys do a
Oh,
lot.
definitely. Yes. There's
All right.
fathering, there's daddying, there's
Right. Okay, so basically I told the people your name is Kev, so I ain't gotta ask you that. So where are you from?
I was actually born in Montreal, Canada,
Mm.
raised in Florida, but I'm here in the ATL for about 15 years. So I like to rep a little bit everywhere. I lived in New Jersey for a little bit, Maryland.
Okay, so we
I'm
can
kind
say
of
you well-rounded.
well-rounded, yeah. At least on the East Coast.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go with that. And Florida ain't nothing but Cali less expensive.
I can see that. That's a whole nother story because Florida and Cali is a bit different. They are different. It's a difference. The palm trees and everything make it look the same, but it's different. I've been to Cali once when I was younger, and it's different.
Oh yeah. If you go now,
really
you'll be like,
it.
oh, this is just like a high-priced hot version in New York.
Florida is Madonna on like drugs, right?
So Studio 57 to Madonna.
So California is Madonna. Florida is like Madonna on meth, but it's not that bad yet.
Ooh.
You can almost tell the meth use, but it's right on that line. That's what Florida is.
Orlando is really teeter-tottering.
Orlando's the only thing that makes Florida look sane.
Oh.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's the only thing that's holding up Florida to its sanity and its relevance.
Okay.
I love Florida. I'm not saying, let me get me wrong, but I know where I come from. So
it's definitely not Florida's news that's holding Florida up. Okay. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All right. Okay. So let me say this. Kev may be, touched by the Florida area, but his intelligence does not give you Florida. Okay. I will say that. All right. Shout out to Eruth. She, great work over here. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Okay, tell me about your family. Do you have a family of your own? Yes or no?
Yes, I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. Like you mentioned, my lovely wife, Eruth.
Yes.
And they're from ages 8 to 16.
Listen, he's busy, guys. He's busy.
I got him. Yeah, right in there. Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your childhood with your dad.
Okay, this is why I wanted to join the show, because it's different.
Okay.
So I've only met my dad once.
Wow.
I was 8, 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you never really had a relationship until maybe like a year or 2 ago. And I still haven't seen him. He lives in Trinidad. He goes around the world. So we're rekindling that relationship. Okay. It's almost like a full circle thing. So like I said, I've seen him when I was like 8 or 9. We didn't really keep in touch like that when I was growing up. So as far as my biological father, that's that story. So what I really wanted to talk about was people my age, or people that grew up in the 80s and 90s that didn't have a father, growing up with them. And usually we tend to gravitate to male role models, right. black male role models mostly. So that was my upbringing. So my sister's dad, my mom's boyfriend, my high school coaches, those were like the powerful male influences that I had. And they weren't around a lot, but when you don't grow up with a father, you tend to grab any kind of male influence that you can get and you use it. whether you know it or not. It's just something it's just a natural thing. Just like how women who don't grow up with mothers, they tend to have at least one or two women that they look up to and they kind of take after and learn things from. So
right.
that's my dynamic, and my wife's dynamic, Eruth. She hasn't grown up with her biological mother, so God willing, next year we get to meet them both for the first time in a long time. So that's our dynamic.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so
it is. It's almost like a show.
Okay, let's rewind. So you met your dad when you were young once, and then you rekindled some type of relationship about 2 years ago, correct?
Yeah.
What
just reaching out, and
you reached out, or did he reach out?
He actually reached out. He reached out through other family members of mine, and so with that, like my uncles would come from Trinidad and come here and be like, "Hey, your father's looking for you. Call your father." Then he would try to call my mom. Now their relationship has been strained for years and years. So that's a whole nother aspect to it.
Yeah.
But, so their strained relationship really didn't make me rush or have any need to have any connection.
Okay.
Because you heard all the negative, and you just don't miss what you've never had, right?
Right. So what was your initial feel about hearing that he's looking for you?
My initial feel was okay, because I've never had any animosity with him gone. In my mind, I always thought, you know what, if I grew up with a father, I'd be like Carlton or something like that. That's what I always thought in my mind. So I was always comfortable with not having him, because not having him made the person that I am today. And it's actually made me a better father, I think, because it's put something out there where I know what it's like not to have a father, and I'm just gonna do my damn best job to make sure that I'm always there. So,
and I always wonder about that, because men who may not have had great fathers, or their fathers were not there, and they have children, and they are able to show up, but don't show up because it's easier to do nothing. I always wonder, like, wouldn't the two choices be, I didn't have a father, my father didn't show up for me, so I want to make sure I show up for my kids, or I want to piggyback and crutch on the fact that I didn't have a father, so I'm going to do the same thing because nobody did it for me. And I think those are the two choices that males have today when it comes to fatherhood and wanting to be involved and not be involved. And I'm happy that you chose to be the opposite for your children.
Yeah. And it's funny, because I grew up with most of my friends. They didn't have a father. Maybe like 2 or 3 of my friends, and it was a large group of us, had a father. So when you grow up, you kind of you're closer to your friends, because like the streets is your father, right? Especially when you're younger. And then those positive male influences, they are the real teachers and everything. But for the most part, your friends are kind of filling that gap. And especially if you have a single mother that's working all the time, that's the dynamic too. But the great thing is just to go back to what you said, I think trauma could always goes both ways, right?
Yes.
So if you're sexually abused, you're either gonna go left or right.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with fatherhood. I've usually see it's either, like a lot of my friends, since that they didn't have a father, they take fatherhood especially seriously, like to their heart. Yes, very, very, very seriously, right? And then, but there are some that's just almost inadvertently, or just without their conscious mind, just follow their dad's footsteps. I've seen that too, where they just the same behaviors that they said that their father exhibited, they're doing the same thing. So it could go both ways. But when I was, let's say 2010, I was picking up my kids from the bus stop for the first time. And it was nothing but fathers at the bus stop.
Yeah.
So times have changed, right? I think fatherhood is, and we do need to celebrate fatherhood, because I think a lot of Black men are stepping up to the game. All my friends are good fathers. They whether they have custody or not, or married or not, they're really good
Thank
fathers.
you.
And this generation is developing great fathers. So
yeah.
So that I knew the paradigm shift changed when I seen nothing but stay-at-home dads now. Stay-at-home dads on.
And I'm
just
for it. I'm one of
at the
those
bus
women
stop.
where I wouldn't mind that if I was married and my husband stayed home with my kids.
No, it's yes. Another part of me. I've been a stay-at-home dad. I was a stay-at-home dad for a good while, for a good 10 years. About maybe 8 years, 10 years, and it worked out great for us. We didn't have to put our kids in childcare. We fed them what we wanted to feed them. We taught them what we wanted to teach them.
Yes,
this
is what happens when you have a team member. Okay.
Yeah.
A husband, a friend, a confidant, and a team member, player, parent. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I take my girls to their doctor's appointment and I see a dad in there with the baby and there's no mom around, or a dad in there with the toddlers and there's no mom around, and he took off to be here, and he took off to be here, I get excited inside. But I do get excited because I'm just like, yes, like finally, because it's been this invisible thing that's set in stone that, oh, the child is sick or the child needs to go to the doctor, your mama gonna take you. When I see a dad in that position, I'm just like, okay, time is changing, because I don't remember my dad ever taking me to a doctor's appointment. I've never seen my brothers take their kids to the doctor's appointment. So when I see it, I should not be surprised by it, because it should be a normal thing. But I understand that we are the baby step of change generation.
It looks different.
Parents in their late 20s, 30s. So I'm just like, okay, let me ease into this. I hope the next generation is even better than us in parenting. So yeah, I like to see that.
No, I remember I had some kind of traffic fine. So I was in probation. So I had to go to the probation's office. And I took one of my kids with me. They were young. And I promise you, like, there was like 3 or 4 women there, and I got everything but a standing ovation.
Yeah.
just for having them with me.
Yeah.
And I felt some kind of way, like, this is like, y'all are kind of just taking this out of hand. But at the same time, I realized, like, this is just the reality. Just the whole fatherhood is, sometimes you see a Black father with kids and it's like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I think we're getting used to that now. I think we are seeing it more. We're even with social media, we're kind of getting that daddy mom, that daddy daughter love, that daddy son love, and we're seeing that on a whole new level. And I think that's the one positive thing that I can say that I'm looking forward to, is just Black fathers being in their lives, and what I mentioned too is Black role models, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a father, or even if you're not a father, and your girlfriend's kids, your aunt or your nieces and nephews, anybody that you're in close contact with, whatever little time you spend with them, anything you teach them, they're gonna grasp onto it, especially if they don't have a father figure in their life. So I just plead to Black men to always look after these kids.
Yes.
If they want to, if you're at somebody's house and there's a kid there and he wants to play catch for a little bit, and y'all having a good conversation and all that, I understand that, but try to take time to play with that kid. Try to take time to play catch with that kid, see what's going on in his mind, because it goes such a long way. And it did for me, just having any kind of male influence, to see how, especially a Black male influence, how Black men move, how we talk, how we conversate, just the whole, you get that. And you don't need a weekend or a year. You can get that just from the moments, right? So I just think we all need to just really think about our community and just let's give a damn about these kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's just pretty much it.
For moms, single moms, if they date, be picky about who you date and who's around your kids.
Definitely, yeah.
I would have to say this one here with Kev, was my longest, most interesting recording because the thought process with his dad ran so deep, and it is still continuous. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Here we go. Back to the show.
Yes, that trust is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for single mothers, I'm not a single mother, never was, never will be. But like you said, it is very important to choose them right.
Yes.
And if they anytime put themselves before the kids, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go.
And I think for boys, they always look at how their mom is treated by a man, what she accepts, how she interacts with that man. And okay, for me as a boy, is that the man I want to grow up to be, because I want to treat women like that. So it's a lot at play. And I'm not saying it's just boys, girls too. But I think for boys, it sticks with you guys longer for you to unlearn, like, what happened with your mom was not the way, or that person with your mom was not right. And at that time, your mom didn't know, her value that well, but she knows now.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that.
My mom's never, she's dated, but she's never, we've never lived with, we never lived with him or, with any of her boyfriends or anything like that. And she's always kind of kept the line. So I didn't grow up seeing anybody curse out my mom. I didn't grow up seeing any kind of toxic, and my mom don't play that shit either. So that's another part of it. But I've never seen that. So I've never done it. I've never just cursed out Eruth in front of the kids and just just that whole toxic behavior, because I wasn't around it. So
which is why I'm so upset that it's all over TV, because you're not helping. Like, TV is not helping. Like, why are you blasting these relationships on TV? Like, it's right. Where's the Family Matters? Where's the Cosby Show?
Yes.
Where's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where he's happily married and he's taking care of all these grown kids? Like, it's a lot. Like, my mom, she was married to my dad, and then they separated and she got a divorce, and she never dated, and I never saw.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.
Her with any other man. So there really wasn't no like an example of, this is what you do when you're dating. This is what you do when you just meet somebody. This is what you do when you're such and such. So, 17 till now, I'm 33, is trial and error. And it's a lot of error. It's a lot of error.
No, that's true. Because for me, it's the same way. Just first of all, being a father on the fly, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to move. I just did everything that came natural to me and just poured love into my kids. And I definitely wasn't the father I was when I was 21 than I am now. So there is a growth process and with relationships.
Yeah.
My wife got the benefit of seeing a relationship and seeing how that worked, but I didn't. So even though I was always kind of booed up in high school and all that, I've never really had that I've never seen how a relationship worked in front of my eyes on a daily basis. So that was on the fly too. So there is a lot of trial and error.
Were you happy that she saw that and she was able to teach you? And did you allow her freely, or did you fight her at first? Not like physically fight her, like.
It's a bit. Well, you know how marriage is. It's a battle now.
I don't know how marriage is.
We're still figuring it out. I mean,
okay.
We've been blessed to be married for this year will be 17, but
wow.
We've been blessed to be married for so long. But it's not like we just won year 1 or 2 and just skating by. It's always, there's a learning process, there's a growing process, and we both learn from each other and grow and figure out what our needs are. And and the most important thing, though, we try to keep the outside world away from us, right? That's just good. Even me being a house dad.
Yeah.
We had to have that strength to just flip all the roles and just do it our way and what worked for us. So
it's good.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you we drew the playbook and the map and just it's all good. We still working on it every day. They
still riding the wave, y'all. Well, y'all, I mean, I think listen, 17 years is a good time. It's a while. It's a long time. I don't even have a child that's 17 years old yet. So kudos for that, because a lot of people today don't make it past 2. So,
yeah. It's and I can't talk for other people, but I just know, it is tough. But, there is the one thing that I can't say is that the commitment is gone, right? I think the commitment is, I don't think people go into it with the commitment they used to have back in the days, which could be a good thing or bad thing. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, there was a strong commitment there. And even if the wife got the black eye a few times a year, she was there. So we do have that option now to get out of toxic relationships. So that's a part of it. But, I don't think the commitment is there as far as just the generation. It's just because you always have that divorce and your next wife or next husband in your back pocket. So I think that's the dynamic.
Literally on IG or Twitter. We have too many options, but you're right. That's a whole nother show. But
that's a whole nother show.
All right. So my next question is, what is your favorite memory? Any dad interaction like with a man that you've had as a child?
I would say I'm gonna put my father, my biological father, just for the fact that when I met him when I was 8 or 9, I've never seen him before, or just don't remember. So that memory was vivid. I remember wanting to see Child's Play 2. Because I seen the first one, it scared the shit out of me, but I loved scary movies at the time.
I'm still scared of that movie by myself. I watch it with my kids on purpose. Safety first.
So I was like, okay. So he came into town. He was like, I'm gonna take you out. So I was like, oh, go to the movie. So I told him that I wanted to see Child's Play 2, and he's looked at the R in front of it and was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. I just seen you for the first. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna go that route. So we ended up watching Problems Child 2, which I end up, which is one of my favorite movies. So us having that bond was pretty cool. But when he left, like when I didn't see him again, to be honest with you, I subconsciously blame my mother, because right after we came from the movies, I heard them having an argument, and in the back, I'm just like, oh, just mama, don't rush him off, make it work. This is pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? So he left, and it was okay with me. It was cool, but just having that memory is just I think it's gonna come. It's coming full circle.
Okay.
Because we plan on seeing each other next year, and I want him to meet his grandkids and really have a good conversation, because we never really talked about the abandonment and everything else. So it's usually just just to see if he's alive and how you doing, what's going on, kind of thing. We never really had that bond, so I'm looking forward to that bond. And the reason why is one of my friends' dads just passed, and he was in the same position as me. He's never really met him like that, and he's like, Kev, get close to your dad. And he was like, with the tears in his eyes, he's like, man, just, what I'm saying, while you have the moment, just go see your dad. Just, what I'm saying, get that relationship going. So when he told me that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's true. And so, that the relationship with my father is coming full circle, but I really wanted to take this time out to just rep the Black male role models, because they are so important, and we don't really see it like that. I mean, you don't have to be in a Big Brother program or anything like that to have influence on these kids.
True.
And even though, and this is the thing too, like, I don't want to ever put down single mothers or even put any kind of expectation out there, but they need some help.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? They need whatever little help they can get, whether it's, it doesn't have to always be financial or this or that, just any kind of community help. That's what it is. I think we need to really build strong communities so single mothers and the single fathers that are out there, they can get that support. So we can start nurturing these kids and really move the way we want to move, where we have fathers in our lives. So
right. Agreed. All right. So we down to the final question.
Yes.
I want you to pick a color, purple, orange, yellow, or pink. And then I'm going to give you a question depending on the color you pick.
It's between purple and orange. I'm going to go with my first favorite color, orange.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Why is appreciating your father important for your kids to see?
Oh, that's just it goes. It's a generational thing. It's and with my situation, that's why I do want to have that moment, and looking forward to that moment where my father actually meets his grandkids and having that connection and bond, because just like, I'm a very spiritual person, and whether you're spiritual or not, like, I think we do need to have reverence for our mother and father, whether they're there or not. I mean, they're the reason why we're here. So, and I know some of these mothers and fathers are toxic. We don't have, you can't, we can't pick them. We can't pick them at all. But there is a level of respect and just reverence and appreciation that we do have to have. And I want to show my kids, even though you don't know grandpa like that, and even though he hasn't been in my life like that, he's very important, because he's part of this lineage. He's part of our family. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has their road that they have to travel. And it is what it is now, right? I mean, and I look at it as, everything happens for a reason. I mean, if I had a dad, maybe I wouldn't have met my wife, and I wouldn't have had the kids I have, and yada, yada, yada. So, I do think things happen for a reason, but I think it is important for my kids to see that, okay, their relationship came full circle. Even after all these years, they've came full circle, and they're a family now, or he's a part of the family now, or they've met, there's some kind of reconciliation. And for me not to have that, I mean, for me to have that, it is important, because as parents, we can probably make a big mistake, and our kids try to, our kids be distant from us for a while, and just to have that example of forgiveness and that blood bond being stronger than anything, I think that's important. So, yeah.
Okay. I like this. I mean, it was more than our 10 minutes, but I think it's needed. I think people need to hear this, because a lot of people that I was like, hey, I need anybody that, wants to come on and talk about their dad. Hey, do you want to talk about that? And they be like, so I saw your question, and my dad was not the greatest. And I'm not looking for your dad to be the greatest for you to come on here and talk about how great your dad is. But I want honest feedback about your relationship with your dad, whether it was super great or it wasn't, and now it's better. I think dads today need to hear that, because a lot of fathers today think it's not a big deal that their child primarily lives with the mom and they see them once or twice a year. And it is a big deal. Depending on your child's personality, like you said, it can go right or left on how they view that and how they take that in. So that's why I wanted people to just share honestly the relationship with their dad and what they thought about their father, because they need to hear it. But please, before you go, tell these people about you and Eruth's show and where to find you guys and how they can listen in, because you guys do have great topics. I feel like what we just talked about would be a topic you and Eruth would talk about. So please tell them.
Yes, I'm Kevin Morris, and it is The Looking Glass from The Looking Glass. So it's Eruth and Kevin Morris from The Looking Glass.
Yes.
You can catch me on Kevin Kool-Aid on Instagram. You can catch Eruth on The Looking Glass on Instagram, and we'll be on stereo for a little bit until we get our pod going. And I just want to give a shout out to Shan. She gets the pod. You're like our godmother in this pod game. So we just like we revere you and Greg all the way. We just trying to learn as much from you guys and just get that good mojo going. And we appreciate y'all. But yes, that's where you can find us. And yes, this has been cool. This is definitely going to be a live show when we get to it.
Yes, please talk about this. You know, me and Greg are always pushing people to push out their greatness, and I think you and Eruth got it, and y'all just need to be out here in these streets because people need guidance. Okay, just like kids need guidance, people out here need guidance, and the right type of guidance, wholesome guidance, realistic guidance, and I feel like you and Eruth got it in the bag. So this is it for Cozy Womb. I'm sure we will have a show soon, and you know, good topics to come, good stuff to come. But thank you for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me. This has been dope as hell, and I'm glad to get out on these streets. You've kind of popped my cherry a little bit, so now I'm be out there and just a hot boy summer or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but it's easy. It's a hot pot summer. How about that?
Yes. Thank you guys for checking out another one on why people out here love their dads. Happy Father's Day to the fathers this month. Thank you to Kev. And if you're interested in some merch, you can shop at the Cozy Womb shop. Go to www.whoisshan.com. If you would like to donate to the show, you can on Red Circle in the show notes. Just hit the link. And if you want to catch Kev on the Stereo app, check out Kevin Morris, okay? He will be on there with Eruth doing a late night show on Something You Should Know. Thanks, you guys. Peace. Bye.
Bye.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.